hit. Reggae is the people music.
If you consider the impact of Bob Marley and his music on the socio-political dynamics of the world or in pop culture, he would easily go down as one of the legends at par with the likes of the Beatles or Bob Dylan. However, his short-lived career, interrupted by cancer at a young age, meant that many of his songs and philosophies are up for interpretation without him being there to clarify. The recently released biopic does a thorough commentary on his life during his self-warranted exile, and the movie has also brought about a response from some of his contemporaries, most notably Mutabaruka. In this video, we will bring you some of his thoughts and views on the late singer and how he has interpreted the movie and some of Bob Marley's works. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin.
Every day and every night we'll be together.
Who is Mutabaruka and how is he relevant in Bob Marley's life? Mutabaruka, a renowned Jamaican Rastafari poet and musician, voiced his thoughts on Bob Marley after he was invited to be at the premiere of Bob Marley One Love, where he also played a cameo. Mutabaruka has wielded a strong influence on generations of black people in Jamaica, Africa and the African diaspora, and his views on the struggle for African redemption and black power has earned him the title of the Verbal Swordsman. His musical career prospered at a time during which Bob Marley had already gained prominence, and hailing from Jamaica, the influence of the legendary musician was hard to ignore at the time. Besides, Mutabaruka also renounced his Roman Catholic faith and embraced the Rastafari movement just like Bob Marley. The similar school of thought and years of scrutiny on Bob Marley's views and works makes Mutabaruka a credible source to analyze and voice his opinions on the late singer.
Bob, I know it's dangerous.
What did he have to say about the movie and the secrets surrounding Bob Marley? The recently released Bob Marley One Love has generally received mixed reviews, with many critics highlighting the fact that the narrative failed to capture the entirety of Bob Marley's life. On the other hand, many have argued that the purpose of the movie was not just to be an informative and detailed biopic, but instead to popularize Bob Marley's outlook and his music to preserve his legacy for the next generation. Whichever side of the debate you may be on, it cannot be denied that the movie delivers a power-packed performance courtesy of some great acting and an intricate narrative. Mutabaruka in particular was overwhelmed after watching the movie, which he claimed moved him to tears at one point. In an elaborate video, the Verbal Swordsman has analyzed the philosophies of Bob Marley as a Rastafarian, and he has also highlighted a few secrets that he would want the fans to know about the iconic musician. These secrets, he claims, have been carefully hidden away by the system from the public, and those in power would never want the common folk to know about them. Mutabaruka begins by talking about how the philosophies of Bob Marley were shaped by the Rasta community and largely by his mentor Mortimer Plano. He goes on to suggest that there is a certain tone of militancy in Bob Marley's music which is largely derived from Rastafari. Mutabaruka talks about how many fans have misinterpreted his songs to be all about one love and one heart, whereas his lyrics is a powerful reminder of Bob Marley's support for the Africa Unite movement or the black supremacy ideals. He points out how many of his lyrics were far from the peaceful and pacifistic approach that people associate him with. I feel like bombing a church because the preacher is telling a lie. And many other similarly provocative lyrics from the musician, Mutabaruka claims comes from his underlying support for the greater cause of improving the lives of an entire community, even at the cost of violence. He expresses his disgust at how, for commercial purposes, those in power have picked out a few songs to dilute the real meaning of Rastafari and what Bob Marley's songs were all about. The monetary aspect of the singer was given a lot more importance than his actual views on the cultural manifestation of Rastafari. Mutabaruka has appreciated how the movie has portrayed the entire thing, where one may not love the musician or Rastafari, but they are bound to be respectful for their contribution in ushering in a massive cultural change. Bob Marley, according to Mutabaruka, sang profusely about black life redemption, and that was the focus of his entire life. Instead of pacifist tendencies, his ideas of mutual respect and a demand for the same have never been highlighted enough, which Mutabaruka feels is purposely done to undermine the entire Rastafari ideals. His positive views on the recently released movie can be further gathered from this statement that he made in the video. This movie can be a relevant awakening to the consciousness and minds of the people who watch it. He praises the impact that the movie can have on a wide range of audiences through a sincere portrayal of a Rasta man, showing how Rastafari is not merely about smoking weed and leading a hippie life, which is what happens to be the preconceived notion about this way of life even today. Mutabaruka admitted to being teary-eyed by the end of the movie because when he first took up Rastafari, he never imagined one of them being on screen to propagate their views to such a large-scale audience.
A war going on. Oh, I can bring peace. I can't even get peace for myself.
Marvelous verdict. Strong opinions up for interpretation. You see, one of the main disadvantages of analyzing the works and philosophies of a late musician is that he is not there to defend himself or explain further. Bob Marley has achieved the status of a legend, but whether or not his works were more radical than generally perceived can never be answered in one sentence. Did some of his lyrics have traces of more violent or militant views? Yes, they most certainly did, and Bob Marley is a revolutionary musician in the truest sense of the term. But whether or not he changed his views and focused more on peaceful coexistence and love towards the end of his life through his songs will always be up for debate. There is no denying the authenticity or credibility of Mutabaruka in voicing his views on Bob Marley, the recently released biopic, or his extremist ideals. However, art is truly a multi-dimensional medium, and all we can say is, to each his own. Don't let them lose focus on what Bob Marley's intention was, says Mutabaruka in his video. But with the legendary singer not being there to clarify, it's really up to you viewers to interpret it in your way. Do let us know in the comments below about your thoughts on these views of Mutabaruka on Bob Marley. And also tell us what you personally think of Bob Marley's real intention through his unforgettable music. Most importantly, whichever side you take, don't forget to enjoy the brilliance of his music because such artists come once in a generation. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.